Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GWE100. It's the Tier 10 German SPG. It's located on the northwest, is it northwest? No, it's northeast spawn of highway, and this one is under the command of randyxx777. 21 centimeter howitzer, capable of 900 alpha, 53mm pen, and the standard reload of 37.39 seconds. It's quite a big beast, but there again, it is designed from a heavy tank, and you can see that heavy tank straight away because it is the E100, the E100, the Entwicklung class, the standardized tanks. And you can see that Randy's decided to go down into the riverbed to aim at the enemy. In fact, he's picked a target already, a 121B, and he's dialed in. Rounds out, long flight time. Well, he got some stun. It was close enough, but the guy changed course en route, and that's why he missed on that occasion. Now, you get plenty of ammo with this Arty. 30 rounds. Some Arty at this level do not get that many rounds, especially the Object 261, which only gets 20, which is surprisingly bad, because that's another heavy tank Arty, and you'd think that it would actually have the same number of shells, and even the T92 HMC should have the same number of shells, because of course their shells were carried in by trucks. So, because of course they couldn't carry all of the personnel on the vehicle. Okay, we saw an enemy vehicle over there. It's a tank destroyer. Didn't see which one it was, but... Oh, we got a direct hit! He correctly worked out how far away that target would travel. Even at the other end of the map, he still managed to work out the lead time. 3.1 seconds is the flight time for the shell. A lot of people ask about the mods that I use, or rather the countdown timer. That's Damocles, and it's on Aslains. It's a very effective one, as you can see, because it's very large. And it gives other information as well. He's just splashed the 60 TP. Yes, what I particularly like is when you come out of aim view with Damocles, you get the, I've got Destroyer Blue, I think, no, Destroyer Green, I think, on. So you don't actually get all the markers. You don't get the countdown when you come out. You can still see how long you've got until you're loaded, but you've got a clearer view so you can actually shotgun the enemy if you need to. But he's found a target, an E5, rounds out on him. Yes! Just behind him, but he picked up 272 and he got stunned, and I think he got stunned on the Object 268 version 4 at the same time, but both of them cleared the stun with their first aid kits. And of course that means now they're on cooldown, and they can't do it again if they need it. Okay, so he's marked the 268 version 4, and a good choice, because that guy is now one shot, potentially, but he's going to go for the E5 again. And that's a direct hit. It looks like it hit the turret as well, in which case the 268 made a fantastic choice to pull away from the E5 just before he got hit. Okay, going back to that 60 TP, but a better choice would be this one here, because I don't think he hit that one before, because that one's not missing any hit points at all. The other 60 TP is, so I think that's the one he hit before. Rounds out. And he does get some hit points off this guy, 230, and he got another hit as well, a stun assist out of that. And he's getting more as well. In fact, the E5 took some stun, and he's been hit. In fact, it was the E5 got hit twice. It wasn't the 60 TP that was hit by stun assist, but you see they've got rid of their stun now. They know that they need the vehicle to be unstunned to get the fast reload, and the 60 TP just took 2 hits, one of which is from the E3, and he picked up 751 hit points of stun assist there. So this is beginning to look more and more like an ace tanker game, because he's already up to 1,878, and there's still plenty of time to go. We have 3 tanks down on the enemy, but it's still early. Just coming up to the 5-minute mark. focusing on that area for the moment. The ideal thing to do is, of course, to focus on the tanks that your teammates are looking at, because they're much more likely to stun those tanks or to get you stun assist if you know that they're looking at that particular tank. Now that can be difficult if you're up on a hill like Malinovka, because you don't know precisely which one of the defending tanks the enemy is actually specifically looking at. But in a battle like this, where the targets are in various different areas, you can look to see where your teammates are looking, and when you get an idea of which one they are looking at, then you can hit the enemy that they're looking at, and you're much more likely to get stun assist. Well, he hit the 60 TP, got some hit points. He hasn't been able to cure his stun because, of course, he's used his first aid kit. But it was the 268 version 4, I think, that went down. So we've managed to recover a couple of tanks, or is it one tank? So now it's just one down. E3's going to find that 60 TP. He's found him. Now that will be a good tank to stun now, because there's a good chance that he is going to get hit again very shortly. Oh, it was a kill shot! Well, he doesn't need to worry about stun assist because that guy's out the game.
Moving to support your position.
Okay. Now, the 121B up in the north, or this E5, the one that's escaping. I think he's hit that E5 quite a few times already. He pulled back when he lost so many hit points that he couldn't afford to stay there anymore. Well, we're leaving him for the moment. We're going to go for this 121B. Now, firing into this hedgerow for Arty can be very, very useful, especially for the tanks that are up there, because they might be taking fire from more than one direction. Unfortunately, that one is not a good shot. RNG sent the shell well to the right, and there's been occasions where I've actually been firing in this general direction, and it's been difficult to get good hits. This Concept B has been taking, or Concept 5 rather, has been taking a lot of fire from our hedgerow near our cap area, and we've lost sight of him temporarily, but he's a one-shot now. The enemy that was beyond the hedgerow, the 121, has gone down as well, so it's just the Object 140. He needs to hold that position there, allow us to soften up the Concept 5, and then he can go in and get the kill. We've lost sight of him, but I think he's behind that building there, because he doesn't want to come out because of the strivs that we've got at the other end of the map. There's a striv 103B who was really smacking him. Well, unfortunately, the bad news is that our teammates in the south actually got wiped out. And now the enemy's got an Object 140 and an FB4005. In fact, I think they've got a Death Star as well. And we're still one down, but all of our tanks are right at the north edge of the map. The bad news is that the enemy is coming in. And I think that Randy's decided the better course of action for him is to go defensive. Find a bush to hide in, and then he can see exactly where the threat's coming from. But you need to be with your teammates. In circumstances like this, you need support. You don't want to be out on your own, sitting at the back in the riverbed, and then all of a sudden the enemy turns up and you've got nobody to support you. He does have that Hesh barn a short distance away, but even he should be actually taking up a better position away from the town so he can get shots at anyone who turns up. The enemy still have their RT. It's a T92 HMC, 24 centimeter howitzer. Okay, and now we're in the woods at the back. That's a good spot. Trees have been knocked down to provide cover. Makes it easy. Of course, the GWE900 never got built. Probably would have been built if they'd actually gone ahead, because of course it was a figment of Wargaming's imagination. But the E900 did exist. There was one built, and it was almost completed, minus the turret. But we still don't know where the hull went after it was used as an ammo target, or as a range target. there's a good possibility that there's a scrapyard in, which town is it? I think it's in Portsmouth, which actually has the hull of the E100, because they're not certain, but they think that that particular hull probably was placed in the scrapyard and buried instead of actually using it for taking it apart and turning it into something else. Mainly because the market fell out of scrap at the end of the war. In fact, the same thing's probably going to be happening in a European country near us at this moment, that there's an awful lot of scrap metal that's going to have to be worked on, and the market will probably fall out of scrap metal in the next couple of years or so, when some of these wrecked tanks start being torn to shreds. Well, the enemy 140, perfect shot right up his rear. He was about to kill the TVP T5051, and he got a thanks out of it as well, which is nice, because that TVP knew he was going to be taking some damage, but he didn't take damage. And now the score's turned the other way round. We're one up on the enemy. The Concept 5 has been spotted, and yes, Randy can hit this guy from here. Rounds out, he can splash him. Oh, he killed him! The guy backed up and he went straight into the shell. Perfect shot. 2 kills in a row. 2 kills, 2 shells. 3 kills now for Randy. That makes him the lead scorer in this game. Massive number of stun assist shells. Massive number of actual damage as well. And some of those were recorded as blind kills. In fact, he could barely see the 140 as he went for the TVP, but he could see him just about, but we could not see the Concept 5 at the moment the shell went in, so that is not recorded on his score total at the moment. It's looking to be a very good game. Standard reload, I did mention before, 37.39, but he's got 28.85, so he has knocked 9 seconds off the reload. He thinks that the Death Star is still behind that building. Our guys are now moving towards the enemy cap. They're hunting the enemy down. There's only 4 of them left, and we think the one is behind there. Got enough shells to fire one in just to see. You know, I always say about keeping a hot barrel. They just killed another one. The TVP just killed the enemy Arty. There is the Death Star. Rounds out. Direct hit. 391. Good shot. Landed on the engine deck. With any luck, that's damaged his engine, but he seems to be moving okay. So maybe it knocked out a crew member. Okay, the Foch is moving in with his autoloader. And I think at this moment, the Death Star is going to be worrying. He may have a big gun, but the Foch does, and he does hit the Foch with a big hit. And now we know where the T100 is as well. Now, hopefully, our Heshbon can get a shot in. There goes the Death Star. The Foch is retreating because he's reloading. Another Death Star down in the river. Can we get a shot to kill this one? It's going to be through the arches of the bridge. No, we don't need to, because the kill shot went to the 140. We stopped capping at the other end. Oh no, we started again. Rounds out on the T100. T100s can still get resets, but it's more difficult for them in this position because he'd have to get close to the cap, and he will be seen. And that TVP is out to try and get a few more hit points under his belt. And with a 4-shot autoloader, he's going to be very happy to put a few shells in. Even the Foch is moving in, and they found him right in the corner. There we go. Right in the corner. Now, can we get a shell in? If we put one in that corner, that should stun him. no shot that direction. Can do it that way. Rounds out. Here we go. Oh, it stuns him. So he is going to get the stun assist if they can get the shots in. But it's too late. The game is over. They've capped out. Here's the end of battle stats. And yes, that was an ace tanker game for Randy XXX777 in the GW 100. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He got 9. And he didn't get any medals, but he did get a high win 8 of 3,416. And he did have a very good effect upon the battle indeed. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage. That went to the TVP, so I guess that TVP was very, very pleased that he didn't get hit by the enemy Object 140 towards the end of the game, and Randy saved him because the TVP managed to get 5,832. The 60 TP on the enemy team, 4,649, and their E5 got 4,285, with Randy picking up 3,052, which means there's 2 players on the enemy team above him, 2 members of his own team, which puts him in 5th place on damage. When it came to kills, he actually got the highest number. 3 kills went to Randy. 2 kills went to the TVP, the Object 140, the BZ-175, and the Heshbon. I was about to say one of the Heshbons, but there were other Heshbons in the game. And on the enemy team, only their T92 HMC managed to get more than 1 kill. The rest all got just 1 or nothing. And when it came to base XP, he's in 2nd place. Because that TVP, by sheer weight of the damage he did, 1,076 base. He's the only one over 1,000. But Randy was just behind him with 938, followed by the Object 140 at 874. He fired 21 rounds in that game, so lots of ammo expended. Didn't have quite a hot barrel in terms of firing the ammunition out as quickly as he could. But then, because towards the end of the game, he didn't know where the enemy was, so he couldn't fire as many shells as he had the choice to fire. 6 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but he did get 18 splash and 3,052 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 3, so he wasn't that far off getting a Confederate, and he got 3,359 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. On a premium count, he earned a profit of 76,176 credits from the game. He got 7 bonds, because of course this was tier 10, and 2,814 experience points. So, as he says, a sweet master with a camping team. Yes, they were camping towards the end of the game, but I think that was the wise choice, because some of the tanks they had on their team were pretty effective. And if they'd actually been out and about, as I said, that even their Heshbon needed to go to that hedgerow for protection, because it was difficult to see where the enemy was going to come from the north or from the directly from the south, especially if they were coming through the city or coming up the river. So yeah, they made the wise choice to go where they did, in my view. And even going into the bushes, just hiding in that line, effectively put the onus on the enemy to try and get close to our cap. And if they did, there's a good chance that they were going to get splattered. But a very nice hit on that 140, as I said, because he had to aim through the trees. And he also got some really other good shots in that game, which helped the team. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.